Over the last few months, SUI's price has been outperforming the vast majority of the other altcoins, climbing its way from the top 25 to the top 20 to the top 15, now nearly in the top 10. Now, just in the last 24 hours, we've seen its price absolutely take off again, leaving most cryptos in the dust while they were being kicked down the stairs. And this has led many different investors to wonder one very similar question. Is it too late to be buying SUI right now? And so today what I want to do is I want to kind of break this video up into two different pieces. I'm going to tell you whether or not I believe it's too late to buy SUI from a technical perspective and whether or not I believe it's too late to buy SUI from a fundamental perspective. And at the end, I'll actually tell you exactly what I am doing as an investor with my SUI portfolio position. As you all know, I was buying some SUI right around $1.30. I felt like I was late to the party. Well, it turns out I wasn't too late to the party. And I want to talk about what I'm doing now that I am up a couple hundred percentages. And so with that said, we have a good bit to get to today. So let's not waste any more time. And let's first and foremost talk about why, actually, from a fundamental perspective, why I don't believe it's too late to buy SUI. But just wait, it's not going to be as black and white as I do or I don't. So just make sure that you buckle up. Okay. So first and foremost, fundamentally, why do I not believe it's too late to buy SUI? Well, the reason why I don't believe that it's too late to buy SUI from a fundamental perspective is quite simply because of what it derives its value from. I'm under the belief that SUI derives its value, meaning that it gains its value from its ecosystem. At its core, it is a layer one utility token. And when you have a layer one utility token, it means it's attached to a blockchain, oftentimes meaning that the better the blockchain performs, the better the associated native token of that blockchain will perform. And so with that in mind and kind of knowing that, it can realistically never be too late to buy something that has the opportunity to grow in terms of intrinsic value. I mean, for example, if we do look at SUI's blockchain right now, let's just go to DeFi Llama and let's just take a look at some of the different aspects of it. What we can see is that its TVL, or its total value locked, has been consistently growing month after month after month, basically since its inception. From 19 million all the way up to 500 million, pulling back to 400 million, and now ripping all the way up to over 2 billion. This thing has been absolutely flying. In terms of overall volume, 24-hour volume is currently at 429 million, 175 of that coming from perpetuals. We're seeing over 1.36 billion from bridged TVL. I mean, absolutely performing amazing. If you don't know what TVL is, this is the total value locked, or quite simply the total amount of assets or cryptos, stable coins, whatever, that are locked on SUI's ecosystem. And if we just scroll down here a little bit, you can see how this thing has been growing. I mean, just over the last month, we're starting to see so many different things gaining traction, whether it's SUILIN, Navi, Cetus, Hadol, Scallopland, so many of these different ones finally starting to catch momentum, picking up hundreds of millions of dollars in inflows and hundreds of millions of dollars in TVL. And so realistically, in an instance like this, in which we are seeing something like SUI's price, or not SUI's price, sorry, but its TVL and its ecosystem constantly growing, I feel like the growth is only just getting started. You know, what I've come to recognize is that oftentimes cryptos like this are only just getting started when their ecosystems start flourishing. Something like Solana didn't really catch momentum until its ecosystem started catching momentum. Something like ADA didn't start catching momentum until its ecosystem caught momentum. That's why BNB grew. It's why ETH grew. And so when you look at SUI as a whole, it is in its infancy in terms of its ecosystem. We're still talking baby days, early days. And so realistically, in the grand scheme of things, how could you say it's too late to buy SUI? Now, I will say that in the technical side of things, I am going to tell you that it's risky to buy SUI right now. But if we're talking from a long-term outlook, a true investment perspective, I can't say it's too late to buy SUI. Sure, it might go down a little bit in the short term because its price is so high. Sure, that might happen. But from a fundamental basis, you should be investing, at least in my opinion, based off of the intrinsic value that could then be represented in extrinsic value in the future, not so much what happens today and what happens tomorrow. And so because of that, first and foremost, from a fundamental perspective, no, I don't believe that is too late to buy SUI. Now, from a technical perspective, that picture starts to get a little bit muddy. Now, the reason that I say that is because it's always very difficult for me to tell people that I would buy something at an all-time high. It's just a little bit of a irresponsible thing to do, right? If we look at SUI's price right now, for example, let's go out here. What you can see is that SUI's price has consistently been pushing upwards and upwards and upwards, creating these highs and all-time highs, and just absolutely smashing through these levels. Now, as SUI's price is making this move, it is also creating a structure that is historically a little bit bearish. There's a 80 to 90% chance that an ascending structure of this nature does break to the downside, meaning there's an over 80% chance that we do see SUI's price lose this key level of support at some point, which would imply its price coming back down below $4 or somewhere around that nature. Now, if you don't think that this is possible, quite simply just go look at what Bitcoin did just last month. Just last month, Bitcoin created an ascending structure of that nature as it was hitting all-time highs, hit the top side and got rejected. The granny got kicked down the stairs. The next thing you know, we saw its price falling downward. So this is very possible, and it happens to assets that are bigger than SUI. Therefore, it definitely could happen to SUI. And so as a result of knowing that we are at all-time highs and that we are creating an ascending channel like this, which historically is a bearish structure, or at least a short-term bearish structure, I do have to let people know that realistically, in the short term, it isn't the best time to be buying SUI. Buying things at an all-time high in the short term is not a good idea unless you're willing to hold it for the long term. Because in my opinion, when I bought SUI at $1.30, right, when I was buying SUI back around some of these levels right around here, right, as we were going upwards, it wasn't a great time. It realistically wasn't a great time, right? We're pushing up, we're recovering through some of these levels. It's not a great time, but I was aware. I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy it now. The worst case scenario is I buy it at the top. I have to dollar cost average my way in. And when it eventually does go up, I'll be in profit, meaning that the worst case scenario is that I buy it now and it takes me a while to make some profit from that purchase. And I'm okay with that. But the best case scenario is that it does continue upwards and I am able to dollar cost average even upwards if I want to continue to take advantage of that. And that's exactly what I did. And look what happened as a result. And so, yes, sure, in the short term, it is a bit of a risky time to be buying SUI. And there is a good chance that we do see SUI's price end up breaking back towards the downside. But in my opinion, one, that's not a guarantee. There is still a 10 to 20% chance that the parabolic move does come. But, you know, even then, if it doesn't come and we do see SUI's price pulling to the downside, that doesn't change any of the factors that I told you from a fundamental perspective when it comes to SUI's ecosystem. And even if SUI's price does start to fall, it doesn't diminish the value that it provides as an ecosystem that could then intrinsically be growing over time, therefore meaning that it's a better deal for you to be purchasing the lower it goes because its ecosystem is still thriving just as much. And so, in my opinion, yes, the short term, very risky. I have to admit to you, I wouldn't be going on 100x leverage long trades or 50x or any of that. I mean, if we just go look at the liquidations on SUI right now, they're very high, guys. On the 1 day, look at the amount of bearish the liquidations that will happen if the market goes down. These are all bulls who are leveraging on big leverage, expecting SUI's price to go up. Look at the amount of liquidations that will happen on the 1 day. Look at the amount of liquidations here on the 7 day, and look at the 30 day, guys. Look at the amount of liquidations there. So it is a risk and it is dangerous. And I'd be lying to you if I said it wasn't. But it's only dangerous if you're looking for short-term gains. If you're willing to dollar cost average in if it goes down, then of course I don't think it's a bad time still to be buying this thing on the technical perspective, because everything points to me that SUI's price could see higher highs. What I see from these charts is the possibility that SUI's price can still Fibonacci extend up to $10, up to $12, up to $15, which still could be 200 to 300% gains from here. The question is just whether or not you're willing to accept the fact that it might pull back in the short term. It might capitulate. It might fall another 20 to 30% before that happens, and you need to be okay with it. But if you are, my answer for this is as well is no, I don't think it's a bad time to be buying. And so with that in mind, I think you kind of have the answer that you're looking for here is the fact that no, I don't think it's too late to be buying SUI. I think it's risky. I think in the short term, we might see it fall 30 or 40%, and you need to be okay with that. But if you are okay with that from a fundamental perspective, SUI is only just getting started. And SUI pushing into the top 10 wouldn't shock me at all. We go look at CoinMarketCap right now. SUI is currently ranked at 15. It has $15 billion in market cap, currently number 12 behind AVAX and Tron. I see no reason as to why we can't see SUI's price surpass Tron, or SUI's market cap surpass Tron, or maybe even Cardano one day, which could still be 2x, 3x, 4x from here. And so, no, I don't believe it's too late. And I do think that there are some great opportunities approaching for SUI. But right now, in the very short term, if you're a short-term trader, if you're a high leverage trader, this is not a good time to be buying SUI, and it is too late. And that's just my honest opinion. So if you're midterm, long-term, great time. Short-term, bad time. And that's just the way that I see it. And what I will actually tell you, I told you I would tell you what I was doing. Over in the school, I actually did announce earlier today. Look, let's get the school pulled up here. Give me 1 second. Discord. Let's go over to the school. I can show you what I did. I made an announcement for them. Let's go to Insights with Tyler, wherever that may be. Here we go. What you can see here is that I actually went in and took a little bit of profit out of SUI. Because I was buying SUI at $1.30, and I have taken out my entire initial investment, I actually closed down 50% of my entire SUI bag today as profit because of what we are seeing in the short term, because we are seeing its price pushing towards the top side of that ascending channel, because we are seeing these liquidations building so crazy here. And that doesn't mean that I don't believe in SUI. I just told you I do. I just told you fundamentally it's sound, technically it's sound, ecosystemically it's sound. I think all of these things are great, but it just means that I'm happy being up a couple 100%, and I want to start pulling pulling some of those profits off the table to rotate them into different cryptos that haven't had their shine yet. So personally speaking, I'm not buying any SUI right now, and I am taking some profits off the table. But in a long-term perspective, the reason I'm leaving another 95% in right now or 90% in right now is because I do still think that there is some upward growth. I do still think that there is a potential for this bad boy to push up another 300, 400, 500%. And that's the reason why I don't believe that it's too late to be buying, even though I'm personally not. And so with that in mind, I will let you know, if you do want more information about the school, I will be talking about it in a couple minutes here at the end of the video, so stay around. But overall, guys, that's kind of where we're at with SUI. I think that obviously it's exciting. Things have been looking great. I mean, dude, you look at crypto bubbles today, this bad boy is leading the charge. It was a little bit higher earlier, but it is still leading the charge on the day. And even if you look at it, I mean, the week, smashing it, the month, smashing it, the year, smashing it, pushing up 58 spots this year from the 70 spot all the way to this 12 spot, just in the last month going up 5 spots, and just in the last week going up 3 spots. I actually think just today it went up 3 spots from 15 to 12. So obviously a lot of excitement, a lot of momentum, a lot of greed, a lot of FOMO. So you have to be careful with that. But overall, of course, we are seeing SUI absolutely killing it. And I do think that it will be able to continue to do that over the midterm and the long term. So again, to wrap that up there, I don't believe that it's too late, but you just need to be careful right now. Now, as I mentioned earlier, if you are somebody who is in this whole world of crypto and you're interested in our crypto school, let me tell you about the 3 types of people that we made the school for, so you know if it's for you or not. I don't want to waste your time, okay? The first one are specific. The first type of person we're looking for is specifically for beginners who are trying to just get a grasp of all the different aspects of crypto. So not all beginners, but beginners who are trying to figure out all the different pieces of crypto. There's trading and leverage, and there's technical analysis and fundamental analysis. There's all these things in websites and platforms. You're just trying to bring them all together. We made it for you. Or now, the second type of person is someone who's a little more intermediate. So they've gathered some skills, but they have no idea how to turn those skills into strategies and those strategies into gains. We made this for you. And the third one are for advanced people, okay? These are the ones who have the strategy, they have the skills, they're profitable or not profitable, but they just feel like they could be a little bit better. They can't figure out exactly what it is they need to get better. They're at a bit of a plateau, and they want to start getting those extra percentage points in their winning ratios, right? It sucks, right, when you become advanced, because you start to feel like you plateau, and getting even a little bit better is so difficult. I know what you mean. We made this for you. Now, if you're one of those 3 people, okay, if you're one of those 3 people, what we do is very, very simple. We take people like yourself. We give them courses, coaching, classes, live streams, workshops, trade signals, research, Q&As, exclusive content daily, and much more. We use all of that we're giving you to help you develop strategies and turn those strategies into profits, turn those strategies into gains. And the best part about it is, guys, if you don't learn anything, you get your money back. Guaranteed, no problem. That's how confident we are. And it starts as little as $5 a month. And look, don't take it from me. I'm not just saying we generate gains. If we go to Community Gainers, you can see it just today. Hundreds of thousands of dollars are being printed in the server. 60%, 50%, 60%, 50%, 500, 9, 10, 11, 12, 60, $10,000 gain. And this is just a couple hours ago. And if I just scroll through, guys, you can see the endless postings of gains, because this community learns lessons, turns those lessons into strategies, and use those strategies to make gains. So if you want to be a part of that, and you are one of those 3 types of people that I told you about, head down to the link down below, go check it out. And as I mentioned before, you can join in for as little as $5 a month here, but the $17 a month option is better, if I'm going to be honest with you. So feel free to go check that out. Let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts down below. Are you buying SUI? Is it too late? Is it not too late? If you do want to start trading some SUI yourself, I will also remind you that you can use that BTCC link down below to go get a 10% bonus on all your first-time deposits. That is a pretty damn good deal. All first-time deposits between $500 and $100,000 gets a 10% bonus back on that deposit. So amazing deal there. Feel free to go check it out. Again, while you are down there, let me know your thoughts on SUI, what you're doing, and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.